Good morning, students. Today we are going to see with chapter 2 electric current. Current, which means the flow of electrons or the flow of charges. So if there is a flow of charge, there will be also opposite to the flow of charge, that is said to be the resistance or resistivity. For considering this resistivity, let us consider an apparatus which is having an area A and length L. So this is the apparatus. This has the length L and area A. So this object has the resistivity, and that resistivity is denoted by the letter rho. Yes, so we are going to find what is the value for this resistivity. For finding this, let us just calculate this R to be the resistance. Resistance R is given by R is equal to rho into L by A. So R is equal to rho into L by A. Here R denotes the resistance. R is the resistance and rho is said to be the resistivity. So you have to know the difference of this R and rho. R is the resistance and rho is the resistivity. And next terms are L and A. As we know already, L is said to be the length and A is said to be the area. So this is a formula for resistance, and from this we can also write the formula for resistivity, because rho is the resistivity. So rho is equal to R into A divided by L. That gives your resistivity. Okay, so here we are writing the formula for resistivity. Rho is equal to R, because this side we have the term R, and now when you cross multiply this here, we get the term A. So R into A divided by, because L is in the numerator, it comes to the denominator here. So R into A divided by L. This gives you a formula for resistivity. So this is the resistivity, and this gives you a formula for resistance. So if we know both this formula, we'll be able to solve the problems easily. Okay. So next is the factors affecting the resistance. So what are the factors affecting the resistance are, the first one is the length. So if the length changes, then the resistance also changes. So what are the factors affecting the resistance? First one is the length. Next one is area of cross section A. Next one is temperature of the material. Then last one is the kind of material, whether the iron has electrical resistance or the simpler conductor. So it is a kind of material, what kind of materials we are using. So just enough to know that we have to know the length L, area A. As I have told you, whenever you are considering a material, for considering the resistance, we should know the length L and area A. And same way, that is the factor which affects. So the factors affecting are length L, area A, temperature T, and the kind of material. This can be asked as 2 marks for your question answers. Okay. Then, so this is the general diagram for the materials based on the resistivity. So when you see the metals, it has very low resistance because it is a very good conductor, and so it has a very low resistance. So this is for metals, and that ranges from 10 power minus 2 to 10 power minus 6. This is for metals. Next is semiconductors, which has little high resistance, that ranges from 10 power 8 to 10 power minus 4. So this is semiconductors. And insulators has a very high resistance, that ranges from 10 power 20 to 10 power 6. Okay, so these are the range of the resistance for all the materials. We are going to see with resistors in series. So we are going to consider resistors which are connected in series. For this, let us consider few resistors which are named as R1, R2 and R3. So these are the resistors R1, R2 and R3. So these are connected in series. So what is meant by this? Series is which is connected in a straight line like this. So it is connected straight line like this. So that means your series. Okay, already we have seen in the first lesson capacitor in series and capacitor in parallel. Same way here, resistors in series and resistors in parallel. The only change is the formula which we use. Here we are going to use with the Ohm's law. Yes. So first consider the resistors of resistances R1, R2 and R3, and we have the potentials to be V1, V2 and V3. From Ohm's law, we know the Ohm's law, which is V is equal to I into R. So this is a very basic formula which we will be using for these questions, that is V is equal to I into R. Okay. So we know the basic formula. Next is we know that we have V1, V2 and V3. So here instead of this V, we are going to write as V1. Okay. So this V we are writing as V1, V2, V3 and also V4. Instead of V4, we will just write as V. That is the total potential. If whenever you are writing as V1, this R becomes as R1. Then V2, R2, V3, R3 and V you are writing as RS. Why we are writing as RS here is because this is resistors in series, and so we are writing with the term R of S. But in all this equation, you have to note down one thing. What is the thing is, I is constant because the current through the resistors are same. Current is same, and so we are writing as I into R1, I into R2, I into R3 like that. Okay. So we have found out the value of V1, V2, V3, etc. Next is we are going to write the total V that can be written as V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Yes. So the first step is V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now substitute these values of V is equal to I into RS. This is I R1, I R2 and I R3. And we know that among this I is common. So I we are taking outside. So I is taken outside. The remaining terms are R1, R2 and R3. Now the next step is both the sides we are going to cancel with the term I. Okay. So here as well as this side we are going to cancel with the term I. So if the I is cancelled, the remaining is RS which is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So that is the final equation. Now what is this RS is? RS is said to be the equivalent resistances. Okay. And R1, R2 and R3 are said to be the individual resistances. So the final statement we are saying is the equivalent resistance is equal to, because in the center we have the term equal to, is it not? So is equal to the sum of. So this plus all we are writing as sum of. In the middle we have the term plus, is it not? And so we are writing as sum of the individual resistances. So this is about the resistors in series. So in resistors in series, we can say that the equivalent resistance is equal to the sum of the individual resistances. This is equivalent resistance which is equal to the sum of the individual resistances. Okay. Next we are going to see with resistors in parallel. So before this we just saw with resistors in series. This is resistors in parallel. So these are the resistances R1, R2 and R3 which are connected parallel. So what is the difference in this series and parallel is, series we just connected in this way, all the three resistances. So R1, R2 and R3. Here we are going to connect it in this way, R1, R2 and R3, and that three resistances if you are connecting like this, that means your parallel resistances. Okay, so we have to know the difference in this series and parallel while you are connecting for your diagram. Next is, let us consider the resistances to be R1, R2, R3, same paragraph, but the difference in this is in that we had the current to be the same but voltage is different. Here we have the same voltage. Okay, voltage is same but it has the different currents I1, I2 and I3, and same way the resistors are also different. Resistors always it will be different because we are going to find only the resistors, so that is different. From Ohm's law we know V is equal to I into R. So what is changing here? I1, I2 and I3 are changing. So we can write the formula for I from this. I is equal to V by R. I is equal to V by R. Now write the equations for I1. So if you are writing as I1, this can be written as V is same, and so V by R1. I2 is equal to V by R2 and I3 is equal to V by R3. And if you want the value of I alone, I is equal to V by R. Either we can write as V by R, or we can also write as the term V by R of P. Why we are writing as R of P is resistors in parallel. Okay, so these are the formulas which we take now. Next is we have to find the total I, that is equal to what? I1 plus I2 plus I3. Substitute all the values in that, so that we'll get as I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So instead of I, we are writing as V by R, I1, V by R1, V by R2 and V by R3. Among this, V is common, so V we are going to take it outside. Here also V, if you take outside you get 1 by R, which is equal to V if you take outside 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So the remaining is just 1 by R. 1 by R, which is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. As we know already, what is this 1 by R is said to be the effective resistance. So reciprocal of the resistance, that is equal to the R1, R2, R3 are the reciprocal of individual resistances. Why we are saying as reciprocal is because here we are writing as 1 by. Each term we are writing as 1 by, 1 by. So we are saying as reciprocal. We have to denote with the term reciprocal. So the final equation, final thing is the reciprocal of the resistance is equal to the, we have to also note it down this as sum of the, yes, sum of the reciprocal of individual resistances. So reciprocal of the resistance is equal to the sum of the, here add with the term which is sum of the reciprocal of individual resistances. Okay, sum of. Okay, so this is about the resistors in parallel. Okay, are you clear with this? These two questions, resistors in series and resistors in parallel, are very important because both can be combined and asked as a 5 mark. Okay, so this is the simple form where we can see resistors, series and parallel. As I have told you already, resistors in series, I told you that we can connect in a straight line, is it not? So you can either connect in a straight line in this way or in this way, this and here and this. So this is also series only. Same way parallel 1, 2 and 3 if you are connecting like this. So resistors always it changes R1, R2 and R3. Same way here also R1, R2 and R3. And we denote the voltage V and the current to be I. See in this resistors in series, we have V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Here the currents are same. And so we are writing as R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is the final step which we saw. The last நம்ம பார்த்த equation R is equal to இல்லாட்டி RS is equal to அப்படின்றத பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா. Here we have it RT. So RT is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 because we are using the formula, what formula? V is equal to I into R. Same way here when you see, here we have V1 plus V2 plus V3, but here VB is equal to V1 which is equal to V2 which is equal to V3 because the voltages are same. Current paranga, here the currents are same, but here the current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So what is the final equation you got? 1 by RT. Okay, here we got with RT is equal to, here 1 by RT, but here the formula is also same because this is also V is equal to I into R. Here also we got with V is equal to I into R. So this is the difference in this series as well as parallel resistors. So this steps is alone not enough. We have to just elaborate it. But if we know this simple formulas, it will be easy for you to understand. So this was made simple for you only just to understand. These steps you should not follow for writing. Okay. Next is the diagram. Here resistors in series R1 R2, in parallel R1 R2. So in series you can just add it R1 plus R2, but parallel when you are adding in parallel, you will be writing it as 1 by, is it not? So you will be writing the term 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. This is what you will be writing for the parallel one, is it not? So 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Now take the LCM here. So this term you will be multiplying, is it not? So we will be writing as R1 into R2. R2. Then this term you multiply here and this you will be multiplying this side. So we will be getting as R2 plus R1. So R2 plus R1. Okay. So this is what the value of 1 by R is equal to, because 1 by R is the total value. So 1 by R is equal to this, and same way 1 by R is equal to this. But if you need the value of R alone, you are going to reverse this. So when you reverse this, you get with this equation. So denominator la irukradha numerator layum, numerator irukradha keeleyum eludrom. So R1 R2 மேலையும் R1 plus R2 கீழேயும் வந்துரும். So you get the equation for resistors in series and parallel. Okay, so this gives you a clear explanation of your diagram also. Next we are going to see with Kirchhoff's law. So Kirchhoff's law, there are two laws. First one is Kirchhoff's first law, that can also be said as current law. First law is also said as current law, and the second law, next one is second law. Second law is also called as voltage law, voltage rule. Okay, so now we are going to see what is this Kirchhoff's first law and Kirchhoff's second law. Kirchhoff's current law first. So what is the statement is, the algebraic sum of the currents in any junction is 0. So if you consider any junction, in that junction the algebraic sum of the currents is 0. Algebraic sum of the currents at any junction is 0. So what is meant by algebraic sum? Algebraic sum means that sum means what? Addition of. So when you consider the currents to be I1, I2 and I3. Just I am considering this to be for example. Okay, so algebraic sum of the currents. So when you add all these currents, that should be equal to what? 0. Okay, so that is your first law. Algebraic sum of the currents at any junction is 0. So if you add all the currents, that is equal to 0. But here we have the term at any junction. So that is what we have to know in this. So what is meant by that junction is, I'll just save this. Before that, one more thing is, the current entering the junction is taken as positive. So here the current entering the junction is taken as positive and the current leaving the junction is taken as negative. So enter ana enadhu positive leaving is what? வெளியே போனா. Okay, so வெளியே போனா என்ன ஆயிடும்? அவுட் ஆயிடுமா? ஸோ அதுக்கு என்ன சொல்லலாம்? நெகட்டிவ் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம். சரியா? ஸோ என்டர் நான் என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். லீவ் அப்படின்னா என்னது? நெகட்டிவ். ஓகே, ஸோ என்டர்னா என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். லீவிங்னா என்னது? நெகட்டிவ். ஓகே, தென் next is, this is a statement of Kirchhoff's first law is also said to be the statement of conservation of electric charges. So Kirchhoff's first law is a law of conservation of electric charges. This I'll just explain you with the help of some diagrams, but the main thing you have to know in this is என்ன தெரியணும்? enter ஆச்சுனா என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். ஓகே, லீவ் ஆச்சுனா என்னது? நெகட்டிவ். அப்போ தான் என்னது? அல்ஜிப்ரிக் சம் வந்து என்னவாக இருக்கும்? ஜீரோவாக இருக்கும். ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ see here, this is a diagram which we have. Here there are also current which enters. So what are the currents which enters here is, see here, இந்த arrow mark பாருங்க, இந்த arrow mark பாருங்க, இந்த arrow mark பாருங்க. This is the junction. நான் என்ன சொன்னேன்? டெஃபினேஷன்ல ஜங்ஷன்னா என்னன்னு சொல்கிறேன்னு சொன்னேன் இல்லையா? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் அ ஜங்ஷன் விச் ஆர் கன்சிடரிங். இந்த பாயிண்ட் பாருங்கள், எங்கே போகிற மாதிரி இருக்குது? உள்ளே போகிற மாதிரி இருக்கா? ஸோ விச் இஸ் என்ட்ரிங் த ஜங்ஷன். அதே மாதிரி இது பாருங்கள், உள்ளே போகிற மாதிரி இருக்கா? ஸோ விச் இஸ் என்ட்ரிங் த ஜங்ஷன். ஆனால் இது பாருங்கள், விச் இஸ் கம்மிங் அவுட் சைட் த ஜங்ஷன். ஸோ அப்போ இது என்னது? லீவிங் த ஜங்ஷன். மறுபடியும் இது பாருங்கள், லீவிங் த ஜங்ஷன். அகெயின் திஸ் ஒன் லீவிங் த ஜங்ஷன், திஸ் ஒன் என்ட்ரிங் த ஜங்ஷன். ஸோ நம்ம என்ன சொன்னோம்? என்டர்னா என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். ஸோ அப்போ என்டர் பாசிட்டிவ்னா என்ன வச்சுக்கலாம்? I1 வந்து என்னது? பாசிட்டிவா? ஓகே, தென் I2 என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். ஏன்னா என்ட்ரிங் என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். ஸோ அப்போது I2 ப்ளஸ் I2. ஓகே, இது என்னது? லீவிங். ஸோ அப்போ லீவிங் அப்போ என்னது? இட் இஸ் நெகட்டிவ். ஸோ அப்போ என்னது? மைனஸ் I3. ஓகே, தென் அகெயின் I4. ஸோ I4 என்னது? நெகட்டிவ். ஸோ ஏன்னா லீவிங்ன்றதுனால, ஸோ மைனஸ் I4. அகெயின் I5. ஸோ I5 என்னது? லீவிங். ஸோ இட் இஸ் மைனஸ் I5. ஓகே, தென் த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இஸ் I6. ஸோ I6 என்னது? என்ட்ரிங். ஸோ அதனால் ப்ளஸ் I6. ஸோ இது எல்லாமே என்னது? ஈக்குவல் டு 0. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். புரியுதுங்களா? என்டர் ஆச்சுன்னா என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். ஓகே, லீவ் ஆச்சுன்னா என்னது? நெகட்டிவ். அது எல்லாமே சேர்த்து என்னவா இருக்கும்? ஈக்குவல் டு 0. Here first law statement. Yes, are you all clear with this? I'll also explain you this with one more diagram. Okay, so diagrams பார்க்கும்போது உங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் ஈஸியாக புரிகிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். பட் அந்த டயக்ராமில் ஆரோ மார்க் எங்கே போகுது அப்படின்ற மாதிரி மட்டும் கிளியராக பாருங்கள். ஓகேவா? ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட், திஸ் இஸ் டயக்ராம். ஸோ அந்த டயக்ராமில் பாருங்கள், இதில் எங்கே இருக்குது ஜங்ஷன் நம்மளுக்கு? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த ஜங்ஷன். ஸோ இது ஜங்ஷன். இப்போ ஒவ்வொரு டேர்மாக பார்க்கலாம். I1 பாருங்கள், I1 இஸ் என்டரிங். ஸோ அப்போ என்டர் ஆச்சுன்னா என்னது? பாசிட்டிவ். ஸோ இங்கே பாசிட்டிவ் எழுதியாச்சா? ஓகே, தென் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இஸ் I2. ஸோ I2 என்ன இருக்குது நம்மளுக்கு? லீவிங் த ஜங்ஷன் இல்லையா? ஸோ லீவிங் த ஜங்ஷன் என்ன நம்மளுக்கு? நெகட்டிவ். ஸோ நெகட்டிவ் வந்துருச்சுங்களா? நெக்ஸ்ட் I3. I3 என்னது? லீவிங். அந்த ஆரோ மார்க் மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் கிளியராக பார்த்துக்கோங்க, அப்போ தான் தெளிவாக புரியும். ஸோ லீவிங்ன்றதுனால மறுபடியும் நெகட்டிவ். நெக்ஸ்ட்டு இது என்னது? என்ட்ரிங். அதே மாதிரி I5 என்னது? என்ட்ரிங். ஸோ ரெண்டுமே என்ட்ரிங்ன்றதுனால என்ன பண்ணோம்? ப்ளஸ் போட்டுட்டோம். ஈக்குவல் டு என்னது? 0. எஸ், கிளியர். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஹவ் வி ஹவ் டு ரைட் ஃபார் Kirchhoff's first law. Okay, again one more diagram. Here also we have a junction. So this is a junction. So அதான் இங்கே என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க? நோடுன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அகைன் இங்கே பாருங்கள், I1 என்னது? என்ட்ரிங். I2 என்னது? என்ட்ரிங். I3 என்னது? என்ட்ரிங். மூணுமே என்ட்ரிங்கா? அப்போ என்ன போட்டாங்க? மூணுமே பாசிட்டிவ்னு போட்டாங்களா? சரியா? I4 என்னது? லீவிங். ஓகே, I5 என்னது? லீவிங். ஸோ அப்போ வெளியே. அப்போ என்னது? மைனஸ் I4 மைனஸ் I5. அதுக்காக என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்கன்னா மைனஸ் ஆஃப் இந்த ப்ராக்கெட்டில் எழுதுகிற மாதிரி எழுதியிருக்காங்க. பட் யூ கேன் ஜஸ்ட் ரைட் எஸ் மைனஸ் I4 மைனஸ் I5 ஈக்குவல் டு 0 அப்படின்னு கூட எழுதிக்கலாம். ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் அபவுட் Kirchhoff's first law. Okay, so clear with all this? Yes. Next, here also we have with one more diagram. this is junction. So இது என்னதுமா leaving. So அப்போ என்ன எழுதுவீங்க minus I1 then this is what entering. So அப்போ plus I2. Then this is what entering. So plus I3. This is what leaving. So minus I4. So அப்போ minus I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 equal to 0. Yes, are you all clear with this? Next is we are going to see with Kirchhoff's voltage law, which is Kirchhoff's second law. அப்படின்றத பார்த்தோம். Kirchhoff's voltage law வந்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப important. So Kirchhoff's current law நம்ம பார்த்துட்டோம். Voltage law என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஸோ இதில் நம்ம மெயினாக தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டியது the sum of the current and the resistance. So see here the sentence is which says the product of current resistance and the current. Okay, so product of current and resistance is equal to the sum of the EMF. So என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா product of resistance and current. So here what is the current here? Let us just take it as I1. Okay, so current and resistance if you product, that is equal to the EMF. Okay, product of resistance and current. So current and resistance if you are going to product, that is equal to the EMF. Okay, so that is what is called as Kirchhoff's voltage law. Yes, so this also I'll just explain you with the help of the diagrams. Before that, let us just know what is the direction of travel and how you denote. So first let us consider with the first diagram. For considering with the first diagram, if the direction of the travel is from A to B, so this is the direction of current. But when you are going to consider the direction from B to A, so இங்கே பாருங்க என்ன கன்சிடர் பண்ணுறோம், we are considering from B to A. But how the direction of travel is from A to B, but we are considering against the direction. So against the direction, since we are considering, the value is equal to minus. So if this is the direction of current and when you are considering against the travel, that is equal to minus. Same way here also, this is the direction of travel, but we are considering what? A to B. So A to B is what? Again this direction. So it is traveling in the, both are traveling in the same direction. So we are considering with the term plus. Okay, here we are considering as minus because this is in the opposite direction. Here we are considering with the term plus because this is in the same direction. Okay, same way consider here, this is from negative to positive. When it is traveling from negative to positive, we'll be considering it as positive. Sorry, this is B to A. Sorry, B to A. If it is traveling from positive to negative, so B to A is from this point B to A. Positive to negative. Positive to negative we are considering as plus. Here this is minus and this is plus. Where we are traveling from A to B. So A to B is negative to positive. Negative to positive, that is considered as minus. Okay, so the two main rules you have to know in this is, when you travel opposite direction, that is taken as minus. When you travel towards the direction, that is taken as plus. Then when you are moving from plus to minus, that is plus. Minus to plus, that is minus. So in Kirchhoff's first rule, what we consider is towards is positive, away is negative. Yes, and here these are the rules which you have to follow. Okay, so using this, when you are going to write the equation here, first let us start from this point. From this, it is traveling along this direction. Okay, so what is the statement is product of current and the resistance. So this is current, this is a resistance. So if you are going to product, we are writing as R1 into I. So product of current and the resistance. Okay. Then coming here, this is again I R2. This is along the same direction. So we are writing as plus I into R2. That is equal to what? The EMF. So what is the EMF here which we are having is Vs. Okay. So this is the EMF. So we are writing just as Vs. So this is the first example. Okay. Same way, I'll just say you with the next diagram. See here. In this we have with different currents and different resistances. So let us write the equation starting from this point and going through as a closed circle. Like this. Okay. So starting from the first point. What is the current is? Current is I1 and the resistance is R1. Then it is going here. So here the current is I2 and R2. So plus I2 into the resistance is R2. Then come here. But when you see here, this is in the opposite direction. When the current is in the opposite direction, you will be writing as minus. So minus I3 into R3. Okay. Then again come here. This is also in the opposite direction. So we will be writing as minus. So minus I4 into R4. Okay. And this term is all equal to the EMF. This EMF is E1 here, and this side we have the term E2. E2. Already I told you that when it is going from positive to negative, it is taken as plus. But here, this is positive and it is going to what? This. That is again positive. So we can write as minus. So we are writing as E1 minus E2. Because it is moving in the same symbol. Positive to positive it is moving. So we are writing as minus. Okay. So clear with this? We have to know in what direction the current and the resistance are moving, and also in what direction the EMFs are moving. Okay. Only then we will be able to write with this voltage law. Next is we are going to see with Wheatstone's bridge. Wheatstone's bridge is a very, very, very important application of this Kirchhoff's law. So we will consider both this first as well as the second law here. For considering with the Wheatstone's bridge, let us consider the four resistances. The resistances we are considering here are P, Q, R and S. These are the four resistances which we are considering. These four resistances, how they are? They are connected in series. Okay. And that is also connected to a battery. That battery is between what? The place A and C. And next here we have a term that is the galvanometer. Okay. So this galvanometer measures the current in this, and that is between the point B and D. So galvanometer is connected between B and D, and this battery is connected between A and C. We also have the four currents which are named as I1, I2. Then this side we have with I3 and I4. So these are the currents. Okay. So this explanation will be given in the next paragraph. Consider four resistances PQRS which are connected to a battery of voltage V. Next, galvanometer G is connected between the points B and D. Battery is connected between A and C. I be the current. So these are the terms which I told you. This is a simple diagram again. Now in this what we are going to do is we are going to apply with both. As I told you, We are going to apply with both Kirchhoff's first rule as well as the second rule. So first rule, at this junction and this junction we are going to apply with first rule. Then the second rule for this circuit, full circuit, we are going to apply with the second rule. Okay, so how we are going to apply is, first let us consider with the junction B. So junction B, when you are considering, what happens is, this is the junction B. In this junction B, we have the currents. These currents are named as I1, IG and I3. So when you see the currents here, this is going inside, this is coming outside, this is coming outside. So this is entering, this is leaving and this is leaving. So entering another positive, leaving is what? Negative. So we can say that plus I1 minus IG minus I3. So that is what is given here. I1 minus IG minus I3 equal to 0. So this is the first equation which you have written. Yes, clear with this? This is very important topic. Only if you know with this equations from the first, you will be able to write this easily. So follow from the first itself. Next, considering with the junction D, we have the currents I2, IG and I4. When you see here, this both are entering and this is leaving. So entering is I1 plus I2, leaving is minus I4. Okay, so I think you know very well with the first concept, is it not? Next is applying with the Kirchhoff's second rule. Second rule we are going to apply for the term, for the side A, B, D, A. So this is a side where you are going to apply A, B, D, A. Here product of the current and the resistance. Here the current is what? IG. Is it not? So I1P, this is flowing in the same direction. So plus IGG. Now when you come here, this is in the opposite direction, and so we are writing as minus. So minus current and the resistance is I2R. That is equal to what? No EMF here, and so we are writing as equal to 0. Okay, so this is what for the circuit A, B, D and A. Now consider with the full circuit, which is A, B, C, D and A. So this outside circuit we are going to consider. So outside circuit, when you are considering, just see the current and the resistance again here. So what is the current in this? I1. The resistance is P. Next I3. Resistance is Q. So this is flowing in the same direction. So again the same direction it is moving. But when you are coming here, this is in the opposite direction. So I4, yes, opposite direction. Again when you are coming here, this is in the opposite direction. I2 R. Because this is coming as a cyclic one. எப்படி வரணும், இங்க இருந்து இப்படி வந்து இப்படி வந்து இப்படி வருதா? ஸோ என்ன மாதிரி டைரக்ஷனில் வரணும்? சைக்கிள் மாதிரி டைரக்ஷனில் வரணும். இங்கேருந்து பாருங்கள், இங்கேருந்து இங்கே சைக்கிளில் வந்துருச்சு. பட் இங்கே வரும்போது என்ன வந்திருக்கு? ஆப்போசிட் டைரக்ஷனில் வருதா? ஸோ அதனால் இங்கே ஒரு மைனஸும், மறுபடியும் இங்கே வரும்போது பாருங்கள் ஆப்போசிட் டைரக்ஷனில் வருதா? ஸோ இங்கே ஒரு மைனஸ். ஸோ தட் ஆர் தி ஈக்குவேஷன்ஸ் விச் ஆர் கோயிங் டு ரைட் ஃபார் த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன் இன் திஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ வி கேன் ரைட் இட் அஸ் Kirchhoff's voltage rule, I1P plus I3Q minus I4S minus I2R, as I have told you from the diagram. Since no current passes through the galvanometer, so we are considering a condition. So what is the condition? This is a very important condition. No current passes through the galvanometer. அப்போ என்ன கண்டிஷன்னா IG is equal to 0. This IG is equal to 0. You are going to substitute in the equations 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 equations which you saw just now. Okay, that equation first I am going to write it separately take with the equations 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are the equations. So in these equations, first three equation substitute with the condition Ig is equal to 0. So if you are substituting Ig is equal to 0, here Ig 0, Ig 0. Here also Ig 0. So what happens? Only this I1. So I1 minus I3 equal to 0. So that is what I have written here. I1 minus I3 is equal to 0. Bring this I3 this side. So I1 is equal to I3. Next, I2 minus I4 is equal to 0. This one, bring it this side. So I2 is equal to I4. Next, I1P minus I2R is equal to 0. This one, bring it this side. So I1P is equal to I2R. Now, considering with the fourth equation and this equation I am going to consider, and also with the fourth equation. So these equations are very main equations. Before that, just substitute I1 is equal to 3, I2 is equal to 4. Wherever you have the term I3, substitute with the term I1. Wherever we have with I4, substitute with I2. So here I3 we are substituting as I1, I4, I2. Okay. Among this, bring I1 outside. I1, if it is taken common outside, from this both the term, I1 is taken outside. Same way, both the term I2 we are taking outside. So the remaining will be P plus Q. Here the remaining will be S plus R. So this term we are having here, this we are going to bring it to other side. So minus becomes S plus. So I2 into S plus R. Now consider mainly with these two equations. I1 into P plus Q is equal to I2 into S plus R, and also this equation. These two equations we are going to use it for the next one, so that we will be able to divide these two equations. So taking that two equations alone, we get I1 P plus Q, then the other equation is I1 P. Same way, I2 S plus R, I2 into R. This is I2 here, I2. Okay. Now this I1 gets cancelled. Same way, I2 gets cancelled. The remaining is P plus Q divided by P. This side S plus R divided by R. Now splitting this, we get, split this terms, denominator is same but the numerators are different. So we can split it as P by P plus Q by P. This can be split as S by R plus R by R. So P by P plus Q by P, S by R plus R by R. Here also P and P gets cancelled, and same way R and R gets cancelled. Okay. So if this gets cancelled, you will get just 1 plus this term, and that side also we get as 1. Okay. So 1 plus Q by P, then S by R. Okay. Here again cancel with 1 on both the sides and plus on both the sides. So the remaining will be Q by P, which is equal to S by R. Okay. This can also be written as the reverse. Reverse of this, we get P by Q is equal to R by S. So this is your necessary condition for your Wheatstone's bridge. This Wheatstone's bridge is a very important question. So for this, the mainly you have to know with the equations which you saw here. So the main equations which you have to know in this is the main 4 equations. Okay. Thank you.